YouTube, this is Felicia with Bible Scraps, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, no matter where you are in God's part of this beautiful world, and no matter what type of mother you are, whether it's biological, foster, surrogate, perhaps you are expecting, perhaps you're a stepmother like myself, although I don't use the word step, I use inherited. You might be a godmother, no matter what type of mother you are. Happy Mother's Day. And I do not want to leave out those of you who, like myself, who have lost a mother. May God's peace and comfort be with you, or perhaps you have lost a child. May God's peace and comfort be with you as well. No matter where you are or what kind of mother you are, blessings. So in this video, we are going to make the cutest paperclip embellishment in the style of the envelope. These are mini envelopes and they're so stinking cute. Of course, you can use these as a standalone embellishment. And I absolutely love it. And you know what? These are perfect for the embellishment box craze that's going on in YouTube land. Now, in this video, I'm going to offer tips and suggestions on how to easily assemble these cute envelopes. Okay, so I was searching for a mini envelope punch, and guess what came up? This punch by Fiskars. It's brand new. It's by a designer named Leah Griffith. And if memory serves me correct, she was really big when I first started crafting in 2004. She had a lot of products. And let me tell you, she has designed a collection of punches that would give Martha Stewart punches a run for its money. I was very impressed when I first used this punch. It cuts through cardstock and paper like butter. I used a different type of material and let me tell you, it was so easy to cut out or punch out this shape. My punch went a-flying. Now, if you have used the older punches or perhaps the newer punches too, a lot of us crafters, we need both hands or we use both hands to punch. But with this punch, you don't. You could use one hand. No problem, you guys. And I'm using our Fun Stampers Journey cardstock, which has a nice weight to it. If I had a complaint, which I really, I don't want to say it's a complaint, but it would be that you need to use your finger. You see this little part right here? Well, you click it in place, but then you would use your finger to open this part up to get out your die cuts. Well, it can require a little bit of muscle. So depending on how often you close and open this part up, it could agitate your finger. What I might do is just take off this whole thing altogether. But take a look at the punch. It fits in my hand. Nice and sleek. And once again, easy to use. Okay, so to put this envelope together, depending on the type of cardstock, the weight of your cardstock, that will determine how quick it is and how easy it is. After you have punched out your envelope, you do want to pay attention to the orientation of your envelope. To illustrate what I'm talking about, I'll use the picture on the punch. You see the design has 4 sides or 4 flaps. The side flaps are pretty much the same, though I detect one side might be a little bit larger than the other side, but you could clearly see the top and the bottom flaps, they're different, which you see here, the top is more pointier than the bottom. Well, when you assemble your envelope, first of all, make sure you have the right orientation, because sometimes I had mine this way and it won't fold as easy. Having the correct orientation is important because this is only a punch. It has no score lines, no score folds, so you want to have it the right orientation so it can fold naturally. What I do is fold the sides first. Now, once again, I'm using a heavier cardstock without a bone folder. To give you guys an example, if you use nothing and you use a heavier cardstock, you may not get that perfect envelope. But once you have folded the sides, it's easier, in my opinion, to fold the top and the bottom flaps. Now, I guess if you wanted to, the top flap could be your bottom flap. You could play around and experiment. So once you have folded all of your flaps, fold in your side flaps and then your bottom flap and then your top flap if you like, and you have assembled your envelope. Of course, you would need to use some type of glue. What I used was this tacky glue in a pen-like fashion, and I'm putting a little bit of glue on the bottom flap. And more came out than I liked. And to hold the glue in place until it dries, I'll use a paper clip just like that. Now let's use a lighter weight cardstock or paper. This is scrapbooking paper. And you can turn your punch over if you want to see where you're punching. Oh, that punched out like butter, you guys. Slippery, silky, smooth, I tell you. Okay, so I want to make sure I have my flaps, the top and bottom flap in the right orientation, which it's this way because sometimes it's hard to tell. I'm going to fold my side flaps in first. And you guys know practice makes perfect. So you might have to practice your folds, but it folds so much easier with the scrapbooking paper. Now, if you wanted to decorate your envelopes, you know you can. You can add stickers, add buttons, you can add shading. And I'm not going to add a paper clip with this one because the paper is so thin. So I'm going to return back to the Fun Stampers Journey cardstock, and I'm going to use my scoring tool. Now, I did try to use my scoreboard, but this envelope is so small, it was cumbersome to do that. The way I use the scoring tool, because once again, there's no score lines, I have my flaps in the right orientation. What I do, and I hope you can see this, I use my scoring tool as a ruler and line up the sides and gently fold it in a little bit. And I do that to the side flaps first. It kind of gives me a head start with folding, and then I use the scoring tool to press the envelope down to give it a nice crisp fold, just like so. And this, so far, I mean, it looks much better. And I should have kept this one open. It looks much better. You probably can't see this, but this little part right here, well, let's open it and see. It was kind of protruding out right there. But because I used the scoring tool, I just naturally get better folds, therefore naturally will get a better finished look. And you can do the same for all flaps. Okay, I kind of made a boo-boo right there in this corner. Now, if you are working with like white cardstock, and if you plan on coloring or shading, I suggest you do it after you add your glue, because if you add too much glue is messy, but glue will also, for lack of a better word, like stain your cardstock. But if you add your color afterwards, well, you can cover up any mishaps. and use a paper clip to hold it. Now, I did not make my final fold here. And you see, I'm just gently folding. I'm using my bone folder as a ruler to gently fold. And then use it to press down. And I have a cute little mini envelope. Okay, so let's talk about the size of your insert. If you refer to the back of the packaging, you see that the inside is 0.97, which is almost an inch, by 3/4 of an inch. You might have a punch. I didn't have a square punch that fit. Okay, so to make the paper clip, you guys, I call these my altered clips because you can get away with doing anything in altered art and mixed media. Well, what I did was I was too lazy, right, to use any other type of glue. So I used pop dots to adhere the paper clip to the envelope. And to cover up the excess pop dot adhesive, I sprinkled glitter over it. Of course, you could take your time and use any kind of glue you want. But in addition to having a little square inside your envelope, you could put in confetti. So I have these confetti balloons that fit perfectly inside the envelope. And of course, you could close it, or you could leave it open, but this envelope is the perfect size for embellishment. It is stinking cute, and you could pick it up at your Joann's and use your coupon and save. Actually, I think it's on sale this week. Well, if you have enjoyed this video, why not like it and give me a thumbs up? If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting on? And happy Mother's Day again, and I want to thank you all for watching. As always, blessings.